6 people have died after a horrifying car crash in Birmingham in the early hours. A 7th person has been left critically injured following a collision which happened on Belgrave Middleway near Edgbaston at around 1 a.m. on Sunday. Police have described the crash as very difficult and distressing, and harrowing images of the wreckage show 6 crumpled vehicles, including a people carrier taxi, strewn along the main road. The cab driver and his female passenger were confirmed dead at the scene, while a man in the vehicle was taken to hospital, where he later died. Three men in another car were also pronounced dead at the scene, while a 4th was taken to hospital, where he remains in a critical condition. The Hazardous area response team of West Midlands Ambulance Service have described it as a significant incident, while witnesses said the tragedy just days ahead of Christmas was the worst thing they had ever seen. Some 40 firefighters were sent to the scene of the collision around 1:11 a.m. on one of the busiest nights of the year, and as temperatures plummeted. A West Midlands Ambulance Service spokesman said a man and woman in the first car managed to escape with relatively minor injuries and were taken to Heartlands Hospital. He added, "The second vehicle, a black cab, was on its side. Sadly, there was nothing that could be done to save the driver, and he was confirmed dead at the scene." The man and woman in the back were rapidly extricated. Unfortunately, it was not possible to save the woman, and she was also confirmed dead at the scene. The man was taken on blue lights to the major trauma centre at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital Birmingham, with the Merit trauma doctor travelling with the crew. Sadly, he died at hospital. There were 4 men in the third car, the spokesman said, 3 of whom were confirmed dead at the scene. The 4th was taken to the major trauma centre at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital Birmingham in a critical condition. Of those travelling in the 3 other cars involved in the crash, a man and a woman were treated for minor injuries. One man was discharged after assessment, and another said he did not require any assistance. Lizzy Bowers, 18, is from London, but was visiting friends in Birmingham when she heard the crash. She said, "I was in the McDonald's drive-thru, and there were 2 loud bangs. Everyone abandoned their cars and people flocked from everywhere, even flats nearby, to come see what happened." There was a people carrier taxi squashed up the wall against another car, which was almost unrecognisable as a car. Other cars behind had bumped into each other, probably from slamming their brakes on. Very upsetting. Emergency service arrived almost minutes after and has been cordoned off with lots of police since. There was another small vehicle further down that had been crashed into, but there was the taxi and the car up against the wall. It was the most horrible thing I have ever witnessed.It didn't look good at all. This close to Christmas, it is tragic. West Midlands Police described the circumstances of the incident as very difficult and upsetting, adding the road will be closed from Islington Road to Bristol Street throughout Sunday. Two ambulances were on scene within 7 minutes, and in total, 5 ambulances, 3 paramedic officers, the Hazardous area response team, the Merit trauma doctor and the Air Ambulance Service critical care car were all sent to the scene. Sergeant Alan Hans from the West Midlands Police Collision Investigation Unit said, "We are currently dealing with a very serious collision and working with partner agencies to establish what caused this collision to happen." One passerby, who asked not to be named, said, "It is really horrific. When I saw the scene it reminded me of the pictures of Diana's car crash. It must have been horrendous for him. The crash occurred last night in freezing winter temperatures, though it remains unclear whether this was a factor in the crash." A local resident described how she rushed outside to try and help. She said, "I heard a massive bang crash, looked out my window and saw a cloud just above the entrance to the tunnel. Instantly I knew it was a crash, and I grabbed my coat and rushed out to help. When you saw it, you knew immediately that there would be a fatality. The cars were just so mashed up, it was absolute carnage." The emergency services arrived almost immediately, and I asked if there was anything I could do, but they said it was best just to keep clear. "I just couldn't get it out of my mind, it was haunting. There was lots of vehicles that were facing the wrong way clearly as more cars came along. There had been accidents with people trying to stop in time. The main crash was absolutely awful. The taxi was upturned and caved in. I think it was just as much of a shock for the emergency services. There was lots of people just standing around in shock. It was horrible. You feel shocked, distressed and helpless, and I'm not the kind of person to run out into the street in the middle of the night, but I knew it was bad." "I just hope that the ones who had got out alive do recover soon, and that the families are coping okay." Passerby Wayne Hopkins, 64, from Hall Green shared his shock and sympathies at the horrific scene. We will be giving our colleagues at West Midlands Police every support possible throughout their investigation into this horrific incident. We would urge anyone who saw what happened to contact the police as soon as possible if they haven't already done so.